Welcome back to Callie and Beans Books. I'm Brittany, and today is my monthly book corner for the month of June. And I did not read a lot this month, but I did get a lot of books. I spent a little extra money on myself and on my bookshelves. Jumping right into my haul, I first picked up two Serpent and Badger Book Club books. First being the May book, Ladies' Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. And as you can tell by the little bookmark dangling out of it, I did not finish it yet. I'll talk about that later. And then the second one being The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. I did finish this one. Again, I'll talk about it a little bit later. Next, I picked up a couple of books from Target. Can't go wrong with some Target deals. First being The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. This is the follow-up to The Wedding Date. Another adult romance, The Right Swipe by Alicia Ray. And then the third one, highly recommended from Callison, is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this one caught my eye as well. Then I was scrolling through the Facebook Marketplace, and lately I've been a little bit hesitant buying books off of Facebook, and nothing was really jumping out at me like, oh, I have to have this. And this one was a must-have for me, and that is Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. And this is a signed copy, and I got a fun little map with it. I for sure jumped on this one because Callison and Sarah have also talked to me about this one, and it's very intriguing, so I wanted to pick up a copy of for myself. And the last two books I rehome from Callison. First one being The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. I've heard mixed things, so I figured I would give it a shot just to kind of see what I think about it. The other book I rehome from Callison was Ink in the Blood by Kim Smedgall. I think that's how you say the last name. I'm just guessing here, guys. Sorry. So those are all the books that I've hauled for the month of June. This is one of those months where I purchased a lot of books but didn't read a lot. Like I said, the only book I read this month, beginning to end, was The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. This is the Serpent and Badger Book Club Book of the Month for June. This follows Alexa and Drew as they have a meet cute in an elevator, and Drew is actually going to his ex-girlfriend's wedding, and she's marrying his best friend, and it's a complicated story there, and he hatches a plan to ask Alexa if she wants to cover as his fake girlfriend. A little fling arouses between the two of them, and this is an adult romance. Gave this story a 3 out of 5. There's a couple of things in here that I really didn't like. There's a major lack of communication between the two characters. A lot of their bickering or miscommunications could have been solved if they actually did talk to each other about their feelings, so that was a major downfall for me. The smut's not the greatest. It's very lackluster. And another thing that I really didn't like was the lack of the wedding. I feel like it was just right in the beginning. We get a little bit of it, but it's not a major focal point of the story like you would think it would be. There's more to the story than just the wedding part, but that is what sparks the whole book and the whole story itself. I kind of go back and forth on that. We will be discussing this in further detail on our Serpent and Badger Book Club page on Goodreads, and we'll all discuss the book there instead of having our monthly videos. I started the month by starting The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. This is the follow-up to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I'm really enjoying this story. It's just, I'm not getting into it as easily as I got into The Gentleman's Guide. It's taking me a little bit more to get into The Lady's Guide. The writing style's fun. It's witty. Banter between the characters is the same. I'm having a difficulty getting into the plot, I guess, but I put it down so I can read The Wedding Date because my plan was to read all of Jasmine Guillory's books in the month of June. That just didn't happen. My goal is to finish this book beginning of July. The other book that I started was The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. Like I mentioned, this is the follow-up to The Wedding Date. We're following Nicole, Nick for short, who is proposed to at a baseball game by her boyfriend of 5 months, and she rejects him because why would you accept a proposal at a baseball game from a guy you've been dating for 5 months that you thought this was just going to be a fling? I get where she's coming from. In comes Carlos, who we are introduced to in The Wedding Date. That is Drew's best friend, and he swoops in to get her out of the situation. I'm just getting to the part where they're getting into maybe possibly a budding romance. They're not actually talking about their feelings. They're not actually talking about, let's start something, let's do this. They're being very subtle with their hints. I'm not a very subtle with the hints fan. We'll see how I feel about it. I will say if both stories, everything revolves around the lack of communication between the two main characters, it's gonna be really hard to continue reading the other 3 stories. My plan is to finish The Proposal, then The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy before jumping into my fairy tales or my retelling readathon that I'm putting on for myself this summer. I'm not going to go into too much detail for my TBR for that, just because I'm going to do a whole video explaining why I'm doing it, the books I'm reading for it, and I'm going to hopefully get Miss Stevie to help me pick out the order of the books I'm going to read. So that is it for my book corner this month. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so you can click that little bell icon to be notified when we post new videos, and be sure to head over to Goodreads. That's where you'll find me, Callie, and Sarah, as well as our Serpent and Badger book club. So until next time, bye!